DETV News is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Tonight, Hurricane Milton leaves a trail of devastation in Florida. We'll have the latest on the aftermath and the Delaware National Guard's deployment to help in the recovery. Plus, a major fine for a Delaware health insurer violating mental health coverage laws. And in sports, we'll preview the high school football matchups you can't miss this weekend. Plus, Shakara will have your weekend forecast. All that and much more straight ahead tonight on DETV News. Good evening and welcome to this DETV News Brief. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for being with us this evening. Here's what's making headlines today across the first state. We begin tonight with the latest on Hurricane Milton. Milton made landfall as a Category 3 storm at 8:30 p.m. last night near Siesta Key, Florida, a barrier island next to Sarasota. The storm has since moved out to sea. At least 12 people have been confirmed dead in the storm's aftermath. Some 11 million people are at risk of flash and river flooding, and a record number of tornadoes were caused widespread damage yesterday. More than 3 million people were without electricity in Florida as of about noon today. President Joe Biden said that he pre-deployed thousands of federal personnel to the affected areas by the storm, including more than 1,000 Coast Guard members. A spokesperson for the Delaware National Guard said that service members left Thursday morning for a minimum 10-day deployment, though they could stay longer if needed. The deployed groups will help clear roads and distribute supplies. And in related news, nearly 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene caused devastating floods in western North Carolina, many residents are still lacking basic supplies. Donate Delaware, a local nonprofit resource center, is currently holding a donation drive to collect essential items like hygiene products, flashlights, batteries, blankets, and towels. Volunteers can drop off donations or load trucks on Friday, October 11th. That's tomorrow from 1 to 3 p.m. at 345 Water Street. That's in Newport. Officials with Donate Delaware say they're making multiple trips due to the high demand, hoping to extend the same generosity they would offer if Delaware were in need. Requested items include non-perishable food, hygiene products, diapers, flashlights, and tools. You can head to donatede.org for more details. In other news tonight, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Delaware has been fined more than $300,000 for violating the Mental Health Parity and Addiction Equity Act. The law requires insurers to provide mental health and substance abuse treatment coverage equal to that of physical health services. The Delaware Department of Insurance says in a review, they found several violations, including restrictive policies on medications for addiction treatment and denial of necessary care. Insurance Commissioner Trinidad Navarro acknowledged Highmark's progress, but said issues still remain. A corrective action plan is now in place. Further exams of other insurers are ongoing. DETV reached out to Highmark today for comment. They in turn provided a statement which reads in part, quote, the Delaware Department of Insurance regularly reviews health plans, including Highmark, operating within the state to ensure compliance with federal and state laws and regulations. The statement continues, saying that Highmark willingly cooperated with the DDOI throughout the review process. The DDOI, however, had concerns with certain operational areas. As a result, Highmark has paid $329,000 to the state of Delaware in a settlement in the review. Highmark is taking the appropriate steps to address DDOI's concerns, end quote. In other news tonight, kindergarten registration is now open in Delaware for children who will turn 5 by August 31st, 2025. The state's universal registration system, available in both English and Spanish, allows families to sign up 24/7. First spouse Tracy Quillen Carney, honorary chair of the campaign, kicked off the registration effort Wednesday at Claymont Public Library. She praised the system for being more family-friendly and equitable, helping children, families, and schools better prepare for the school year. The Delaware Department of Education introduced the system in 2022 to streamline the process and improve access for families. And in related news, the Delaware State Senate has announced the launch of Spanish language services to better connect Spanish-speaking residents with state resources. As part of this effort, constituents can now access assistance via email or phone with help provided directly in Spanish or through rerouting to appropriate services. Officials emphasize the importance of inclusivity, saying the outreach will improve access to critical services. The initiative was praised by the Delaware Hispanic Commission Chair Carlos de los Ramos, who called it a significant step in empowering the state's Hispanic community. The program aims to meet the needs of Delaware's growing Spanish-speaking population, which now exceeds 67,000 households. The Senate is dedicating a special phone number and email address for questions and services in Spanish. Now let's turn to the weather. Here's a look at what to expect in the days ahead. Shakara, how's the weekend shaping up?
DETV News Weather is brought to you by Real Life Prosthetics. Live life fully with Real Life Prosthetics. Your ability is our mission. It's shaping up pretty well. No complaints here. Today we had another day filled with sunshine goodness. Temps hovered around 71 degrees, giving the perfect mix of cool and comfy fall vibes. Now tomorrow will be a different story. On Feel Good Friday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with a high of 74 degrees. There might be a little drizzle in the afternoon, so keep that umbrella handy, but don't worry, it'll just be a light sprinkle. Mother Nature's way of giving the plants and grass some water before the weekend fun kicks in. Saturday will be a beautiful day. You can expect bright and sunny skies. It'll be a warm and delightful day with a high of 77 degrees. It's the perfect day to hit the park, take a stroll along the riverfront if you're in town, or have a picnic with the family. Keep the sunglasses handy, fam, because you'll need them wrapping up the weekend. And guess what? It's football Sunday. Go Eagles. Sunday is bringing a mix of sun and clouds with a few peaks of sunshine here and there with highs around 72 degrees. So the weather's playing nice this weekend, whether you're out and about or staying indoors. It's looking like a winning forecast, and hopefully the Eagles will do the same. Keep shining, DETV fam. Have an awesome weekend. Back to you, Matt.
Thanks so much, Shakara. Looking good there. Speaking of sports, we'll have Nick here a little bit later in the broadcast as well. Also making headlines tonight, good news for commuters. The St. George's Bridge will reopen this Friday, that's tomorrow, October 11th, after 18 months of renovations, just in time for the evening rush hour. How about that? A ribbon cutting ceremony will be at 11 a.m. tomorrow and will feature officials from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, state leaders, and local community groups. The bridge, which carries Route 13 traffic over the Chesapeake and Delaware Canal, will open around 2 p.m. Friday, eliminating the need for detours onto Route 1. The Delaware Department of Transportation says before the renovation, the bridge had handled about 11,000 vehicles per day. The $46.4 million project, completed slightly over budget, improved the structural integrity and driving surface of the bridge. To Sussex County now tonight, where the town of Milton's Finance Committee is reviewing a parking impact fee proposal that could impact local businesses. The proposed fee includes a $1 charge for each ticket sold and a tax on a percentage of gross sales from retail and hospitality establishments. This proposal primarily affects businesses that host ticketed events, such as the Milton Theater, which opposes the fee. The theater warns it could face an additional monthly cost of between $5,000 to $7,000, jeopardizing its financial stability and ability to impact foot traffic downtown. The committee will gather public opinions and concerns during a special comment session. Milton recently approved a 33% property tax increase in its fiscal year 2025 budget. Turning to sports now, Nick is here to reveal where your favorite teams landed this week and give us the scoop on the weekend's must-watch games from around the state. Hey there, Nick.
Hey, Matt, thank you very much. Yeah, what a day. Get the whole crew back together. Me and Cam were tossing the ball around here before we got on the air tonight. It is a beautiful Thursday, so we're going to talk about high school football rankings as we head into Week 6. And I'm also going to tell you where you can watch this weekend's top games live. Plus, we'll get you the top plays from Week 5, courtesy of Delaware Live Sports. So let's start with rankings in all three of our classes here with football in the first state as we enter Week 6. We're going to be in Class 3A, as you see it on your screen. Your defending state champs, Salesianum, still sitting sitting at the top of the rankings, followed by Appoquinimink now moved their way all the way up to number 2. Sussex Central at 3. Middletown 4, a big matchup for them coming up this weekend. And then Cape Henlopen at 5, Smyrna 6, and St. Mark's at 7. Similar theme here as we go to our Class 2A rankings with Caravel sitting at the top. They, like Salesianum, are your undefeated state champions. Caravel at number 1, defending that state title this year. Archmere coming in at number 2, followed by Woodbridge from downstate at number 3. Red Lion now up to number 4. Delaware Military Academy at number 5. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Delmar 6, and Laurel rounding out the Super 7 at number 7. Well, now let's jump to our third and final class, that being Class 1A. A new team sits atop these rankings, and that's number 1 is Indian River, followed by your defending state champs sitting at number 2, Tatnall, Polytech 3, First State Military all the way up to 4. How about Christiana at 5, Brandywine having a good season at 6, and then St. E is now cracking the Super 7 at number 7. Well, that's where everyone sits as we head into week number 6. Now let's get you the games to watch and where you can catch them live this weekend. It's all going to start downstate on Friday night as you can join Benny Mitchell and the Delaware Live Sports crew as he brings you Sussex Central and Cape Henlopen from down in Lewis. Pregame getting started at 6:35 and kickoff set for 7 p.m. on Delaware Live Sports with Benny Mitchell. Also on Friday night, you can catch another big-time matchup. That's number 7 St. Mark's. They're making the trip to number 2 Appoquinimink High School. Again, Appo ranked up in that top 2. St. Mark's also in that 7i alongside Glenn Frazier will be on the call for that top 7 matchup. Rounding out the slate Saturday is a battle in Class 2A. Number 4 Red Lion travels to number 5 DMA, a battle of top 5 teams. DMA looking to get back on track at home against a Red Lion team that is playing very well. That kickoff is Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. And remember, you can catch all of the action live on Delaware Live Sports on YouTube. Just search 302 Sports to find the YouTube channel. And now, speaking of which, let's get you those top plays from week number 5 before we get into week number 6. Your top 5 plays presented by Delaware Live Sports. You're going to see them on your screen. It starts with Demarion Russ here for Lake Forest. Not 1, but 2 big touchdowns in the game last week here against Sussex Tech. Here on the misdirection, coming the other way and just going to get to the sideline and turn on the Jets. How about that speed? Nobody going to touch him into the end zone for his first. But we're not finished yet. Russ here for number 2. The counter gap back this way and going to split the defense again. And then with that speed, cuts back inside, breaks a few tackles, and he is going to go. Russ with 2 big-time touchdowns in that game for Lake Forest. More from this one here in a little bit. Over to Appo here at number 4 and Jasir Rogers committing to Penn State earlier in the fall. Here he is going to show you why. Coming across, catch this little short out, has the ball, then right to the sideline. How about that speed? Nobody going to catch him all the way into the end zone for Jasir Rogers, one of the best weapons in the state there for Appoquinimink. Over to number 3 and Dominique Hull for Lake Forest. Back to the Spartans here, and this one's going to be 77 yards. You got the deep motion. It's going to be a handoff here to the inside, and that's going to catch the defense off guard. Untouched the rest of the way for Hull for a big-time touchdown. The Spartans really putting some points on the board in that win at home over Sussex Tech last week. That'll take us to number 2 and John Parker for Middletown. Again here at number 2. Check out this one in the Harvest Bowl against Smyrna. Going to catch this one out wide in the flat, and he's going to put a couple guys in the spin cycle. 1 spin move, 2 spin moves, able to spin away from a few defenders, stay on his feet, and get into the end zone for 6. John Parker for the Cavaliers of Middletown in there at number 2. That takes us to number 1. This one courtesy of Incognito. It's going to be Milford here going up on the road. And check out this one. Dropping back, the throw is going to be off the receiver's hands, up in the air, picked off and taken the other way. How about this one? Going the other direction for a big-time play. That's going to be your top play of the week. The defense coming up big here at number 1. Well, some big-time plays for week number 5. Do not forget, Delaware looking to improve to 5-0. University of Delaware Blue Hens, they're at home this weekend against Maine at 1 p.m. You can get tickets online for that one. The Del State also going to be in action. They're Saturday at 3 p.m. They're on the road at Robert Morris, so a lot to look forward to here, Matt.
Nick, thanks very much. Lots of good stuff there. Appreciate it. Before we sign off tonight, some exciting news to share about our downtown neighbor here on Market Street. The Hotel DuPont has been named a finalist for the 2024 Historic Hotels of America Annual Awards of Excellence, which recognizes top historic hotels across the U.S. The awards, organized by the National Trust for Historic Preservation, celebrate excellence in categories like Best Historic Resort, and Hotel of the Year. Winners will be announced at a ceremony on November 21st at the Omni Homestead Resort in Virginia. The finalists were chosen from nominations by historic hotels, preservation supporters, and community leaders. We're pulling for you there, friends. That's going to do it for this edition of DETV News. Don't forget to follow us all along your favorite social media platforms for updates on what's happening all around the great state of Delaware. And if you have a comment, question, news, or sports tip, as you saw there, feel free to send it our way. Our contact information is press@detvch.com. For Nick, Shakara, and all of us here at DETV News, I'm Matt Ford. We'll see you right back here next week. Good night. We don't talk about prostate cancer enough, and it's the most diagnosed form of cancer and the second most common cause of cancer death among Black men in both Delaware and the United States. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, but just by asking your healthcare provider if you should get a screening could help you detect prostate cancer early and save your life. So let's talk about it. Talk to your healthcare provider today about a prostate cancer screening if you are 40 years of age or older, or have a family history of prostate cancer. If you don't have insurance, or if your insurance doesn't pay for cancer screenings, Screening for Life may provide you with the screenings that you need, and Nurse Navigators make this process easier. To learn more, visit healthydelaware.org/prostate or call 211. Ask your healthcare provider about a prostate cancer screening, and you're asking for so much more.
My name is Jason Aviles, and I am the founder and owner of Fly Yogi, and I'm here to share with you some tips to be able to help fight opioid addiction. Opioid addiction is a real growing problem here in America, and I'm here to share with you some tips that you can be able to integrate into your everyday life to really fight against opioid addiction. One of the first things is redeveloping your mindset. One of the practices that I like to use daily is meditation. And what meditation does is it brings you clarity of mind, and it helps keep you grounded, and it improves your ability to make decisions that you are going to benefit from. A lot of the time we find that addiction is rooted in our mindset. It's rooted in how we think and how we perceive, and therefore how we act. So this is a really good way to help fight against that energy of addiction. The second thing is improving your lifestyle through diet and exercise. At the very root of addiction, there is substances within the body that's causing the addiction on a physical level. When we begin to introduce healthier foods, plant-based foods, we begin to remove and detox the substances that are in our body that's causing and attracting the addiction. So through incorporating more fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and even drinking water on a daily basis, you're going to put your body in a state where it's going to be able to fight the root causes of these addictions. The second part is exercise. Exercise is good for mood. It's good for energy. It's good to increase vitality. It's good to get your heart pumping and get your blood flowing and get oxygen moving throughout the body. So through engaging in physical exercise, complemented by incorporating healthier foods, you're putting your body and your mind in a state where it does not want what's causing these things that are manifesting negatively in your life. So addiction can really be decreased by just incorporating a healthier lifestyle through diet in nutrition, exercise, and then also making sure that you're tackling the mind through mindset, through meditation.